My name's Arron and I'm an environmental educator working primarily with school children to bring about a cultural change in the way we interact with our natural environment. I designed a program called Kids Teaching Kids, and we've had over 10,000 students through the program. We run 7 of them across Australia each year. The program is a peer teaching methodology and allows students to essentially pick a locally specific environmental issue. They're appointed with an expert industry mentor. They then work with this expert industry mentor, which could be a freshwater scientist, it could be anyone who is a leading edge person in their field. They produce a Kids Teaching Kids presentation which takes around 6 or 12 months to produce, and they present that to their peers in a way that they actually understand. I have a dream that Kids Teaching Kids will provide a global solution to ownership of our environmental crisis, and they'll do this through things such as on-ground action. Each workshop has to have an on-ground action component, but also their voices are so important. They talk to people like local government, like state government, like major corporations, and they actually change policy right across the world. So not only are they taking on-ground action, their voices are actually changing policy within the adult sphere. So Kids Teaching Kids, yes, is really important, but Kids Teaching Adults is even more important. Each student group presents their workshop 5 times before the conference and 5 times after each conference, which has resulted in close to 2,500 workshops being delivered to community groups such as Rotary, state and local government, private business and major corporations. This is kids really changing their local environment. I believe the single biggest issue facing our planet is actually apathy. I've quickly realised that the environment's not just a natural science, it really is a people science. We need to generate a cultural change in the way we see ourselves. We're actually part of that natural system and we must live within our environmental skin, live within Australia's skin, so to speak. Just about every environmental issue today, whether that be climate change or biodiversity loss or lack of water, is really a result of seeing ourselves as more important than the system itself. We take whatever we need and leave whatever's left over for the environment. We've got to really switch that around. Look, I might be a little bit biased on that question, but I have to say that education is absolutely key to us owning the issue. Understanding what is needed to secure a bright environmental future and also taking action. We also need to ensure that we allow passion and emotion to be part of the solution, because without the heart, we'll never really get the widespread involvement that we so vitally need right now. Further to this, we really need strong leadership. Individual actions are really important, but without bold and visionary leaders, it's really difficult for us to make the type of significant impact to address global issues such as climate change. We really need those strong leaders who will make the right decisions, even in the face of hue and cry about where we're going. The wonderful opportunity provided by our environmental crisis is the chance to come together around a common challenge. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're from the country or the city. It doesn't even matter what country you're from, whether you're from Afghanistan or Australia or America. We have a common issue, and that is the need to breathe clean air and drink clean water. The environment really is a great leveller. Community ownership of your place is ultimately what can either save or condemn a patch of land, river or ocean. Without this local ownership, it becomes no one's problem. The other part of this equation is that many small actions multiplied by many millions of times can have a huge impact, be that a positive impact or a negative one. I really like the saying that no one of us can do everything for the environment, but we can all do something. I've seen local communities save river systems, campaign for endangered animals, protect our oceans and make their homes as green as they can be. Each day we've got the ability to lead through inspiration. Our friends, work colleagues, schoolmates and even people in the street are people we can really positively influence. And another really important ingredient in this fight for a bright and compelling future is hope. We shouldn't underestimate how powerful hope can be when we're faced with the looming environmental crisis. It's probably our most precious commodity at the moment. It's often the simple things that are the best things, and clean up the world is such a simple and tangible concept, but it also really sums up exactly what is needed right now. It promotes the message that every little bit helps, and that if we can come together across the world, we can achieve some pretty amazing results. The campaign causes us to think more about what we are doing to the planet, and more importantly to take action, and that phase is really important. It's all well and good to feel passionate and understand the issue, but without genuine action, we're just left with hollow rhetoric. The great thing about Clean Up the World is all about the empowerment of local communities, couched in the much bigger global outcomes of what can be achieved when we really work together around a common vision for a brighter future. Well, firstly, having grown up with Clean Up Australia and now Clean Up the World, I'm just honoured to be invited to participate as an ambassador, and it was a real surprise for me, and I just hope that I can support the great work already being done. I think it's really nice that Clean Up the World has seen fit to choose a country boy like me from what was a small town as an ambassador for a global program. It's pretty humbling, actually. I really hope that this shows people that Clean Up the World is about ordinary people striving to do extraordinary things, and with a little help from friends across the world, of course. I really hope to reinforce the fantastic profile that Clean Up the World has already achieved, and I hope to simply be part of the action to save our planet. In a selfish way, I'm also going to get great motivation from the stories and people I hear and meet through the campaign. Hearing from people that are giving selflessly back to their communities is really invigorating and gives me hope that we can address the significant environmental problems facing our planet. Well, this year's a big one. We've got 7 of our kids' conferences in every state and territory of Australia, which will see another 3,000 students pass through our program. And I really plan to promote Clean Up the World to all of these students. And the great thing about these students and teachers is they go and then present in their local communities. So I'm really going to be spreading the Clean Up the World message far and wide. I'm also going to present close to 50 speaking engagements across the year to a wide variety of big name organisations, a lot of really big corporates, and I've already included getting involved in the Clean Up the World campaign as one of those calls to action. It's great to have a call to action at the end of any presentation, because otherwise, again, we just get that hollow talk. Look, to me the theme represents how quickly we have to act. I think many people are now understanding that despite this being a long-term investment in our future, we require immediate action today. We have to hit peak CO2 emissions by 2015, which is a very, very short time frame. I also think the theme represents the fact that we really have an obligation to provide the next generation with a world that's in a better state than we inherited it. And clearly cleaning up our environment or tackling climate change is one of our biggest environmental challenges at the moment. I think one of the funny things is that people often fail to make the link between waste and climate change, but waste is one of the key reasons we use so much energy, water and virgin materials each year. Reduce, reuse and recycle is an old adage, but it rings true to this day, and Clean Up the World certainly provides one answer to our rising environmental woes. Look, there's so many things we can do, but the number one thing is to believe that we can actually win, to hope for a brighter environmental future, and to know that there are people all around the world who share that same dream. It's really easy to feel insignificant when faced with global issues, but every little action multiplied by many millions of times is what a sense of place and belonging to our patch is ultimately all about. We can and will make a difference and have a brighter environmental future.